Okay, before I start, just know this. This story was shared by someone who didn't want to be identified. I'll call her Emily, and what happened to her still doesn't have an explanation. So, let's begin what happened. Let me start by saying this clearly. I know how this sounds. If someone told me this story, I would probably think they were paranoid or losing control. But everything I'm about to say actually happened. And it didn't start with a person. It started with small, repeated moments that didn't make sense. 3 months ago, I left someone named Daniel. We had been together for almost 2 years. He wasn't violent. He never hit me, but he had a way of controlling things quietly. He would notice patterns, small things. He knew when I changed my routine. He remembered exact words I said days before. And he liked testing me, asking the same question twice, just to see if my answer changed. When I finally left, I did everything right. I changed my phone number, deleted my social accounts, moved to a different part of the city, new apartment, new routine. I thought I had erased him from my life. The first time something felt wrong was at a grocery store. A normal place, bright lights, people everywhere, safe. At least, it should have been. I was standing in line when the cashier looked up at me and smiled. Nothing strange at first, but then she said something. Long day again. I froze, because that's exactly what Daniel used to say to me. Same tone, same timing, same words. I told myself it was nothing, just coincidence. It happens. People say similar things, right? But then it happened again. 2 days later, different place, different person. I was waiting for a bus when a man sat down next to me, didn't look at me, didn't smile. He just said quietly, "You always think too much." That was Daniel's line. Every time I questioned something, every time I tried to push back. Now it was coming from strangers. At first, I tried to ignore it, but the pattern didn't stop. It grew. A woman passing by said, "You never listen the first time." A delivery guy muttered, still avoiding things. Someone in my building hallway said, "You changed your hair again." None of them knew me. At least, they shouldn't. And the worst part wasn't their faces. It was their eyes. They looked at me like they recognized me. Like I was familiar. Like I was expected. I started questioning everything. Maybe I was stressed. Maybe I was projecting. Maybe I hadn't really moved on. So I did something I didn't want to do. I reached out to Daniel. Not directly. I contacted his brother. Asked him to tell Daniel to stop. Whatever this was, it wasn't funny. He replied the next day, and what he said didn't make sense. Daniel wasn't even in the city. He had checked himself into a rehab center weeks ago. No phone, no contact, no outside communication. I didn't believe it, until I saw it. A photo, posted online. He looked different, tired, disconnected. So if it wasn't him, then who was doing this? That's when things got worse. One night, I stayed late at work. I didn't want to go home. Home didn't feel safe anymore. Not because something happened there, but because nothing did. The silence felt wrong. Around 10 p.m., I finally left. The streets were quiet. I kept my headphones in. No music. Just so I could hear everything around me. As I turned onto my street, I saw someone sitting near my building, hood up, head down, completely still. I almost walked past, until he spoke. "Cold tonight, isn't it?" I stopped, because I knew that tone. Then he added, "You should have brought a jacket." That wasn't random. That was specific. That was something Daniel used to say, almost every night. I didn't respond. I just walked faster. When I got inside, I locked everything. Doors, windows, even the chain. That night, I barely slept. The next morning, something changed. My doormat was flipped over. That might not sound like much, but I live on the top floor. No one just walks past my door. I picked it up, and underneath, there was writing. "You can change how you look, but I'll still find you." I felt sick. I left that day. Didn't pack. Didn't plan. Just left. I checked into a hotel. Somewhere crowded. Somewhere public. Somewhere safe. Or at least, I thought it was. Around 2 a.m., there was a knock on my door. Slow. Even. 3 times. I didn't move. Didn't breathe. Then it happened again. I walked to the door. Slowly. Looked through the peephole. A woman was standing there. Completely still. No expression. No movement. Just staring. She didn't speak. Didn't knock again. She just stood there. For almost a full minute. Then, she walked away. The next morning, I asked the front desk. They said no one was assigned to that floor. No guests. No staff. That's when I understood something. This wasn't random. These people weren't following me. They weren't watching me. They were repeating him. His words, his tone, his patterns, like pieces of him, spread across strangers. I moved again, changed everything again, and for a while, it stopped. Until last week, I was walking home, holding a book, trying to feel normal again. A woman passed by me, didn't look at me, didn't stop. She just said, "You always hide in stories," and kept walking. I didn't turn around, because I already knew one thing. They don't look like him, but somehow, they still sound exactly like him, and I don't think this is ever going to stop. If you found this story interesting, there are more like this coming soon. Make sure you're subscribed, because the next one might be even harder to explain.